Hello and welcome to Not Necessarily the Hamptons. I'm your host, Michelle A. McDonald. Thanks so much for joining me. We have a great show in store for you today. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, the panel of my fellow comedians that are going to just sit around and chat about some things that are not necessarily socially acceptable or polite to talk about in public. But before we do that, let's see who I have with me today. First, to my right, I have Adrienne Davis.
Hi, I live on Long Island. I love living on Long Island. And I live my life to the fullest on Thursdays.
Thanks for joining us, Adrienne.
Hi, I'm Evan. That's it.
Hi, I'm Andy Plutinos. I'm from Astoria originally. I grew up in Port Jeff Station, but I think probably the most interesting thing about me is that death can't have me.
No.
Oh, we love that.
Good for him. Hi, I'm Devin, and I'm nervous being next to someone with so much facial hair, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I do it for the show.
Do you
You're a good
shave
man.
yet?
Well, guys, we're going to be chatting about local and not so local things in, around, and on Long Island. One of the things that about being on Long Island and traveling, anytime I travel, people always ask, oh, Long Island, that's the Hamptons. And they only assume that that's what Long Island is, it's the Hamptons. But we're here with where Long Island is not necessarily the Hamptons, it's so much more. And we're going to be chatting about all those things and things that you think about at home too. But before we get to that and to be committed, I ask that everyone stay committed to the moment, be present, and take the next 30 minutes of just living in the moment. Can we all take our cell phones out and put them in the box?
Sure. All right, sure. Yeah.
Boy, I'm exhausted.
That was a distance.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's, it's so hard. I'm grateful that we have these 30 minutes to chat with each other. We normally don't see each other unless it's a couple minutes in a green room or walking in or out of a show or a mic. But there's so many new movies out there. And right now there's a lot of scary movies, which makes me think about my favorite scary movie. And I don't typically watch horror films, but the scariest movie for me is actually an American classic called The Last Time I Saw Paris with Elizabeth Taylor. Now this is actually based off of F. Scott Fitzgerald's Babylon Revisited.
You nailed it.
Thank you. But the reason why it's scary for me is because it talks about how, there's a couple, and instead of having communication and open and going back and forth, they're trying to get each other jealous, and they're building the space between them further instead of going closer. And that's so scary to me because I feel like that's something that can happen to me or any of us. That
What year did this movie come out?
1954.
You were alive?
My mom wasn't even alive.
Why is this scary?
Wait, what?
Why is this
My mom
scary?
wasn't alive then.
In 54?
No, my mom was born in 55.
Oh, okay, wow. You got young.
Still.
And why is this scary to you?
My dad's
Because-
old. Jesus.
Because I think it's scary because there's this couple that fell in love, and instead of having the confidence to talk to each other, he had went out to get her jealous by entertaining other women, and she had tried to get him jealous by
Almost killing him? No?
no, they did it quite
Was there a
differently
murder?
in Paris.
Did he kill her? Or
Guys, it was in Paris.
Was
in
there
the
somebody with a
50s.
knife?
Andy, what was
did
your
she
favorite
try
scary
to kill
movie?
him? I'm confused.
Yeah,
Did
it's
this
just
an old-
confused. We're all confused by
this-
that.
did she try to kill him?
Scary?
No,
or
it's not.
Was
It's
it a
not.
rom-com?
I guess it was more like a rom-com type of thing, but the thing about it that scared me, that I found truly horrifying, is that something that happens so much,
He
so
was a
frequently.
blue-collar worker and
All right,
it
well-
scared you.
Well, I guess then what I'm going to say next is probably not going to make any sense to you. I hated and was most afraid of The Blob, which is about this
I remember
gigantic
that.
slop thing that would like eat people and spit out their bones.
Oh yeah, I was scared of that too. Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe it's not scary because it didn't take place in Paris.
Where did it take
That was
place?
terrifying. I don't know, Cleveland probably, because that's where all the terrible
But the
things.
blob
Brooklyn.
didn't know how to communicate.
Right. It did. Yeah, the blob couldn't communicate with the main characters, and so it expressed
But it
itself
still
by
had its
eating
own-
everybody and spitting out their bones.
Lisa, what was the
Blobs
resolve?
have feelings too.
Oh, well, to this day, I can't eat jelly. Like I just can't because I think it's gonna eat me.
Do you know what does eat you while you're eating it? A pineapple.
Really?
Really?
When you're eating a pineapple will actually like start eating you too.
How did they not make that into a horror movie yet?
Right?
Crazy.
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Wait, who was in the blob?
I don't know. It was like
I know
nobody
Evan
famous.
starred in
Never
it,
gonna eat
but
a
who was in it?
pineapple again.
Evan was
Thank
playing
you
the
for that.
blob.
Evan, so when you did your first starring role in the blob, now was it hard to
I got it.
transition from
Fat-
stunts
are these your
to
fat
Is that a fat joke? Because
These are fat jokes.
that's low hanging fruit.
Oh, come on.
Yes, come on.
He's lost a lot of weight.
Come on,
He's
Evan.
at the gym every day.
You're right, Evan's skinny. All right.
So who next?
Well, I hated all the scary movies. Like, The Exorcist was scary.
That was so kick ass.
Very scary.
I thought you
But,
meant, I thought you meant the Wayne's Brothers movie.
But when I went to sleepaway
White
camp for a
chicks.
month, like I hated like Nightmare on Elm Street. But I just kept having nightmares about Nightmare on Elm Street because not just that, but the Jason movies. But I was literally at a camp at a lake.
Which would have been the Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
movie.
for the 13th. But when I was dreaming about, Freddy Krueger, I thought Freddy Krueger was always going to kill me.
Well, that's like a lot more frightening, I think, because
Yeah,
it's like everybody has to sleep.
You have to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother showed that to me when I was 5 years old, because that's such an older brother show your little brother movie.
Oh, it totally is.
And then the whole time they're standing over you, like ready to punch your arm if you close your eyes for a second. Oh, don't close your eyes. Close your eyes. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you.
Is that the one
Close
that's
your-
in jail
Don't be a
now?
girl. Don't be a girl. I'll punch you. I'm gonna punch you.
I don't know if he's in jail anymore, is he?
Oh no, this isn't the brother in jail. This is the other one. This is the one that likes to skateboard. He's not in jail.
How many brothers are there?
I have 3 brothers. They're all very different. Yeah,
They're all talented.
they're all talented in
their
different
own
ways.
In their own way.
Like one's in the Olympics.
No, not Olympic.
Jail?
One manages a strip club in Florida.
Success.
Really?
One was a successful criminal for a while. That was pretty cool.
Until he got caught.
My other brother's a stuntman, but he's only a stuntman for children because he's really small. Because they come from really short people.
So any kid that's like thrown downstairs, that's actually your brother.
Well, I'm half Puerto Rican and we're like half brothers. So his dad is Puerto Rican, my dad's white. So he's like really darker than me. He's like super tan, short fellow with very long hair. But for every movie he's ever done stunt doubles for, he always does stunt double work for 12-year-old white women.
Wow.
So anytime you see a young tween girl skateboarding in a movie, it's just my brother. They painted up white and put a red-haired girl's wig on. So,
What movie was this?
Stranger Things.
Oh, he was in Stranger Things?
He was up for Stranger. Yeah, he did Stranger Things. He did a few other shows too. He just did a Bill Murray movie.
You
He's
gonna
happy
grow
about it.
your hair long? Maybe there's a future for you.
No. There's no 12-year-old boys built like weird apes. I can't. There's no build for me in stunt double work, so I'm good.
You never
Danny
know.
DeVito maybe.
You never know.
Yeah. Oh, should I name my horror movie or?
Yeah.
do it.
Oh,
So you just did. No.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
That is terrible.
There's a sequel?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty horrifying.
Wait, we love Kevin James though. What was
Yeah.
horrifying
I love
about
Kevin
this?
James, except for one line in the movie, and I sat through the whole movie, which was really nice of me because I'm a big Kevin James fan. I sat through the whole movie, and the one line that had me walk out was, it was right before the end. There was 10 minutes left in the movie, and he clotheslined a person, and it was in Vegas. The movie takes place in Vegas. It's a big part of the movie. And he clotheslines another man, and then he gets in his face, and he says, "Always been on Blart." And then I yelled, "That's it!" And I walked out of the movie.
That's scary.
Always bet on Blart.
And I had nightmares about that movie for 5 weeks afterwards. That was way worse than Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wait, that's like the roulette game?
Yeah.
The joke? Okay.
Yeah. And
Well, it's from a Wesley Snipes movie, Passenger 57.
Wait, what was
where,
that?
with one of the taglines from that is always bet on black.
Oh, you didn't
Always
say
bet on
Bart?
black. No,
Oh, okay.
that was the Wesley Snipes
Oh,
version.
so you had to know that reference.
He was a big fan of Paul Blart before the movie
See, I thought
happened.
it was because you know when you go to the casinos and they have that wheel,
Yes.
and it's either red or black, and then they have the two spots with the green.
That's it, yeah.
But that is where
Yeah,
that
but that
comes
was in
from
the movie,
originally.
yeah.
But then Wesley Snipes says always bet on black, and then always bet on Blart.
It's because he's named Paul Blart. Now you see, it's a funny thing on his name in the
Instead
movie.
of
I'm
black.
It takes place in
I actually
Vegas.
hate that we're
Black.
having to explain.
I remember the movie being funny. I thought it was funny.
The
I
first-
love
You saw the
Kevin
second?
James.
Did you see
The
the
first
second
Paul Blart or
one?
the second
The
one?
first one's funny.
I feel like if you're a comedian from Long Island,
Yeah.
you have to love Kevin
I
James.
love
Love
I love
Right.
Kevin James and I love the first Paul
Love.
Blart. Kevin, if you're watching this somewhere, I will
He's
take
not
work from
watching
you.
it.
Please. I'm begging you. I will take work. I will be in Paul Blart Mall Cop 3, Atlantic City. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wear the wig and just do the stunt work.
Mohegan Sun.
Wait, what happens if it doesn't make it to Atlantic City, but if it's at like Jake's 58?
Oh, jeez, that'd be even better.
Jake's 58th Long Island edition.
How Long Island does this show gotta get?
Paul Blart. No, seriously, we're not even trying anymore.
Paul Blart, exit 58.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, it could be like. Okay,
It
we'll
won't
see.
even call it Jake's. It'll say exit 58.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 3, Montauk Highway.
The search for cigarettes.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 3, Nassau Coliseum, the Eagles tribute band playing there. That's the most Long Island show I've ever been to in my life.
Actually, the Eagles are touring again, and they're going to be playing for my birthday. I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a fan of them too.
All right, let's go.
Blue Oyster Cult, we're gonna be there. Me and you, front row.
You're definitely going to get Stepstone of the Year.
I didn't have that already. Come on.
So about Adrian.
All those things I did.
Oh, what
What's
about
your-
me?
yours
I
the-
love the beach. I
No,
love-
no.
Scary
Oh
movie.
my
Oh,
God.
Oh, scary.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz. I still
Why is
shake
that
from
scary?
that.
That's so
Well,
fun.
The
Wait, I'm sorry. Was it Oz, the prison drama on HBO in the 90s?
That scared a lot of men.
that is
show scared
scary.
a lot of men.
Or did you say the Wizard of Oz?
I saw my first naked man's butt on that show.
Oh my God. I
Because
don't
that's when
have
they
any
first
other
started
reaction.
showing nudity on HBO. It was a big thing because there was a prison scene.
That's
the
not all they
reason
showed on
it's
that
so
show.
Scary.
The Wizard of Oz you're talking about.
Yes, Andrew, the Wizard of Oz.
just wanna be
I'm
sure.
sorry, you have your scary movie. I have
Well, I
mine.
took a piss out of her for her
tell-
rom-com scary
Tell
movie.
us why she didn't like it.
I loved it, but it was scary. I'm still. Okay, the house flying all over.
It was the first movie you saw in color? Keep going.
That was black and white. That part.
So scary.
It was.
that was black and white, that part.
That was black and white. And so and then the monkeys flying. Tell me
No
that
need to
didn't
get
scare that-
racial.
This sounds like a
Super
you
acid.
describing a bad acid trip at this point.
Then the monkeys were flying.
No, that was in the
Man,
No, I
let me
get- no,
tell
I
you
know.
about when I
No,
took acid in
you know what? We're
41.
not going to talk about bad acid trips right now. We're going to talk about the movie.
Right.
So the monkeys flying and lions
Like the
and
band?
tigers and bears.
Oh, my.
Oh my.
You know, the thing is,
Oh, my.
that movie, for me, it would always be the music and the undertones. I'd be like, that would scare.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back.
And you grew up
So-
on a farm.
No. Did not.
All right.
I grew up in
Try to make it relevant.
Yeah, so being on Long Island, we're all from or living on Long Island,
Yeah.
and I have that New York pride. No matter where I go, I believe New York will always have the best pizza. You guys,
True.
tonight we had a delicious meal. We still have some pies left in the green room from Gigi's right here on the North Shore.
Delicious.
Amazing. That caprese is definitely my favorite.
The penne alla vodka pizza, delicious. It was my favorite. It was my favorite one I've ever had.
The grandma
Really?
pie.
The eggplant
grandma-
is
yeah,
good.
grandma.
I'm an
Eggplant. I
I'm an
like the
Italian,
eggplant.
and I don't like that impression right there.
I love it.
I don't like
I'm
how
offended.
Hey, the grandma pie
I don't like
is
how
the
accurate
best.
I don't like how accurate your impression is. No.
Where's your favorite
Hey.
pizzeria on Long Island and why?
See, it's going to be a race between Evan and I to go first.
Coliseum.
No, go for it. Yeah.
Coliseum.
In Port?
In Port Jeff Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
Station.
Port Jeff Station, yeah. Well, I grew up down the road right from there. But growing up, my parents, only on special occasions would go there because they always had to get the new place that opened for a week because they had the coupons and the penny saver because it was the $5 or $10 cheap pie. And it was always the most disgusting thing you've ever eat. And we would complain. And it was, my mom was like, "Hey, we got the coupons. Stop your complaining."
That's how your mom talks?
Yeah. "Stop your complaining. We got it cheap. It was coupons."
Was your mom the same mom from the Goonies movies?
Yes, she was.
Why are you doing this to me?
Maybe I dropped you one time. Okay, 2.
Okay, it was 3.
I do a perfect impression. I used to answer the phone like my mom, and the friend started talking for 5 minutes. I go, "Yeah, my mom's not home."
Hello.
Do you still do
And
that?
they'd start talking. "I found the best bargains." The friends would start talking about. "Yeah, my mom's not home." Hang up the phone.
Did you
Judy
know-
called.
I mean, at least you knew their voice to know who called, so you could take the messages, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
considerate.
No. No, I didn't take the
I
message.
agree.
What's your favorite pizza?
Yeah, sure. Right there in the messages.
My favorite pizza? Well, I love Mama's in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Mama's. Each slice is like a meal in itself. You have to eat it with a knife and fork. But I don't eat it with a knife and fork. So, I love Mama's.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alfredo's Pizza in West Babylon, New York is the best pizza there is. They have a really good deal where if you want, you can get 2 slices of pizza, and also you get a soda with it too. And I think that's a pretty good deal. That's why I like them the most. Pizza?
Wait, what about the pizza, though? Their pizza's a little bit different.
Oh, terrible. But
Wait,
but the deal though, the special is so good.
guys, but Devin's leaving out the thing about Albert's Pizza.
No, Alfredo's. I said Alfredo's Pizza.
Alfredo's Pizza.
I've been to Albert's too.
Oh, I thought you were saying Albert's, not Alfredo's.
No, they're overpriced. They do like $5.50. That's like way too much for me.
I think I just drove by there when I was getting winged, or actually I walked by there with Kristen when we were going for a walk not that long ago. It was $5.25.
Oh, okay. I might consider them if they drop it by a quarter.
I like when you look up reviews and the place is really bad, and then the owner goes on the place and starts arguing with the people back
is
and
pretty
forth. And then you look at the next review and the guy's arguing with different people,
Yeah.
and then starts calling him stupid on Yelp.
Well, there was the one that we looked at that was like, it wasn't good, it was cold or something. It wasn't like even that big
Yeah.
of a thing. And the owner's like responds with, "I remember you, you scumbag."
You came in with no money.
Exactly. Like, how did you get served then?
There wasn't even a picture on the profile. There was no name to figure out. He said, "I remember you." I'm like, "No, you don't."
Yeah, there's no way.
I ordered a pizza. Like,
Don't ever come back to my place, you piece of crap.
Yeah, and like cursing and everything. It's like really.
A lady wrote, I think,
first.
same restaurant. A lady wrote, "The service could have been a little better," and gave it 3 stars. And he went, "Oh, so this is why we let trash in now."
I kid you not, these are actual Yelp reviews
We're not going to say the name of the place.
or interactions that we've discovered
We're
when we were
paraphrasing.
working, burning the midnight oil one late night at the Pink House, my home, and we wanted to get some late night bites.
Yeah, go Yahoo it at home if you want.
Yahoo.
Yahoo it, Bing it, whatever you want to do. I don't know your search engine.
Flick it. Whatever the hell.
Spiderweb.
If you guys want to pull an Ask Jeeves or anything like that, go nuts.
I'm pretty sure he retired.
Jeeves?
Yeah.
No, they still have
I think
Jeeves.
so.
It's just called Jeeves now.
Here, my favorite is here. Let me Google that for you. Let me get in my favorite pizza place. It's also Coliseo's, but honorable mention to my dad lived in Glen Oaks, and there was a place called Little Joe's 2 that was really good. Had their garlic pie was fantastic.
Wait, So if Little Joe's 2 is in Glen Oaks.
I don't think it's open anymore.
Oh. Is Little Joe's 1 open?
I have no clue. I just remember when we would go to my dad's for.
Do you know what pizza like I'm kind of addicted with?
Guys, do you know what that means?
Uh-oh.
It means it's time for the low tide lament.
Oh, no.
Something that has pissed off or angered one or more of us. And I think I have something immediately for that. Is that when you call to make an appointment somewhere, somebody says, you need to make an appointment. This just happened to me. And they say, when's good for you? And I'm like, okay, how about Monday? And they go, well, it's going to be 1 to 2 weeks before you can make it. Well, why didn't you lead with that? Tell me that, what's your availability after 2 weeks from now? Say that to me. I don't know, it drives me nuts.
Did you see that? Did you
I
respond?
did end up calling him because I'm getting older, I'm getting angrier. So I'm calling people and stuff. When I was younger, I'd be like, okay, all right, no problem. 2 weeks from now? How about the Tuesday 2 weeks from now? That's what I would do. But now I'm like, okay, listen, honey. Which I know I just Me Too'd her. But
Is that really a me tooing?
honeying? Yeah, I
I
think
call a
little
lot
bit.
of people honey,
No,
but
just
sometimes I
putting
just
them
do
in
it because
their
I
place.
forget
No,
their
It's
names.
like a dude, like I'm an older dude, obviously, younger
older?
female.
Well, you don't-
Well, no, in that situation, and I'm kind of using my maleness to kind
I
of.
think so.
I think so. Yeah. So
Listen, ma'am.
Yeah.
When people say honey
are my
to me,
initials.
I feel special.
I don't. I hate it. It's,
When they say
I
ma'am,
feel, no, I don't like that. That's a
like
lament. Ma'am, no.
You
Those
don't
are
like
my
ma'am?
initials.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, your
yeah.
initials I like. When people call me ma'am, I'm like, I'm not your ma'am, you know?
what do you like to be called? Miss?
Madame.
Madame?
Wait, who calls me that?
I don't know.
How about someone calls you
There's
lady?
somebody
Hey,
that-
lady. I like lady.
Hey, lady.
Hey, lady.
Call me anything but not late for dinner.
So no, that's a very valid point though. Like that's really irritating when people are like, oh, I like that. When can you come in? And it's like, oh, well, this is when I want to come. Especially when it's like an emergency and something that should be looked at quickly.
Correct.
I don't know, like your heart or something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if you're having cardiac
No, it actually.
issues.
What?
Let's say if
Which-
you're having like a ballpark, a heart attack.
It's
If you were to have
Like
one
2
of
days ago,
those,
let's say.
hypothetically.
What's that like?
I have no clue.
You have no idea.
I don't know
Actually-
because this may be aired at any time.
he could be dead.
It could happen again.
I never know.
Who knows?
Cross your heart. Hope to. Never mind.
Ooh.
Oopsies.
My brother and I were terrible. Like when we were younger, like we would get angry at my mom. My parents had divorced, and it was just the three of us. And we used to skip onto every crack in the sidewalk on the way home. Now, do you know?
Yeah.
Good.
If you
wanted
step on a crack, you break your mother's back.
Yeah, we were terrible children. We deserve all the horrible things.
How's
that
your
have
mom
happened to us.
doing?
Yeah, how's
She's a
your
purple
back?
Great.
She's
great.
good. So
Yeah, didn't
Got
do a thing.
robbed in a backwards,
do a
bro.
thing.
Turns out, complete horse hockey. Turns out.
turns out.
So, you never know.
Low point of your week?
Low point of my week. By the way, you guys didn't ask me this before, but my favorite name to be called is Toots. So, anyway, my low point of the week is at one point, I hate weather conversation during the winter now because everyone's doing it. We always have to have like a little bit of weather small talk. I'm okay for it for like a few seconds, but you know what I hate when I'm putting in the effort halfway through the conversation, and then they just don't give me the benefit of the, they don't give me the good ending to the small talk. They just go, yeah. Like I was talking to someone
Are you
recently, and they were
done?
like,
Yeah.
they was like, I
No,
was
I
talking,
mean, are you done?
no, I was talking to someone recently, and they said,
Okay.
yeah, weather's cold outside right now, right? And I'm like, huh, yeah. I tell you what, I didn't need a coffee this morning to be awake. And then he gave me one of these, yeah, and then he walked away. Worst person I ever met in my life.
Who was this
I hope
person?
terrible things on him. Anyway,
Who was this person?
random passerby. I don't know him.
Guys, do you hear that? Because we don't want to end on negativity.
High tide.
It's time for our high tide happy moment.
High tide, happy moment.
Yeah, I feel like I went with the low tide lament. Does anybody have a high tide happy moment?
I was offered a gig.
Hey.
I had to turn it down for this show. And it felt great because the guy says, "You want to go to the Bronx for $15?" I was like, "No, I'm doing a show."
Can you get to the Bronx for $15?
I don't think you can get to the Bronx.
I don't think you can. You can't.
If you walk, you can.
Yes.
Ba-doom.
Ba-doom, bang. Because it's like, wait.
Lose money for the Bronx gig.
Well, that's good. It works out that you're here with us.
And if I wasn't doing this, I probably would have taken it.
Aw. Andy, I really feel like you're passing the buck, but I think you have the highest.
Well, yeah,
High
I did
time.
have a small heart attack at the beginning of this week.
2 days ago, he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What's that?
Yeah, no, blocked artery. The little stent came in through my wrist. There's the only scar I'm gonna have is this little dot on my wrist, and yeah. So check your blood sugar.
Red Fox used to do this.
Don't eat red meat. I got there's a bunch of stuff, but yeah, happy to be here. Happy to be amongst friends. Before I came here.
Never mind.
If he ever does that Red Fox bit, you might get scared.
Elizabeth, I'm coming.
And a heart attack.
Listen, dummy.
But that might actually be. So you can't ever do that bit, because now we're all going to like jump on you.
Which bit?
That you having a
Of
heart
Elizabeth?
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except it wasn't that cool. It was just me being like,
But that's really how Red Fox died, though, right?
Yeah, he died.
He
had
died
a
on
heart
stage,
attack. Yeah, he
and
died of
everyone
a
thought it was
heart
part of
attack.
his bit.
He was literally doing that bit his whole life, and then he literally died
Can I
from
say
a heart
though?
attack.
It was a great closer that night. Out of all the ways to go.
I'd seen it before.
That's probably the best way to go out, though, is doing what you love, that you prepared for it your entire life.
Right.
Yeah, I let it he dropped on stage, and while he was dying, there was a guy going, he's doing his old stuff.
Yeah, he did that. He did that better in Galveston in '68.
Oh, we're repeating bits now?
I hate when a comedian repeats his stuff.
How about Adrian? Is she ever happy?
Do you have any happiness?
You know what? I came up with a low tide, but I'm wondering if I could turn it into a high tide. So I was getting invites on Facebook to like a page, and I'm thinking, oh, someone wants me to like their page. And I liked it.
That's awesome.
We always close strong here, and not quite.
Well,
We kind of did that too.
So anyway, so I learned how to create a page, but the low tide, my high tide is that I'm here.
Nice.
Yes.
Yay. And my high tide is that we're always here and we're always together.
That's the end of our show.
This is the end of our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, you can visit our Facebook page, our Instagram page, or send us an email at notnecessarily@gmail.com should you have any questions, suggestions, concerns.
Stop making a muscle. What's wrong with you? You idiot.
Till next time, thanks for watching.
Really, Red Fox in 1965, I think.
We're supposed to talk
Wait,
out.
when did Red Fox die?
An outro kind of thing.
An outro.
And I think
yeah.
probably.
I think
Don't
Red
die
Dox is
on
still
us.
alive.
So I think
who
the
are you?
Wizard of Oz was really
That's
scary.
what he said.
The music got me scared by
Donkey.
that.